All right. So, hello everyone. So, today actually we're going to talk about how to write an informal letter. And I will try to give you some practical pieces of advice how to how to do this. I will explain what four criteria I take into account. And actually, if you have any questions you're willing to ask me, I will try to do it at the end of my presentation. Okay? Меня слышно, видно? Okay. So, let's start. I think it's high time to start. We'll just try to cover the main criteria of assessment again. I will explain it again. So we'll try to cover all practical pieces of advice of what to do in order to get the highest score. And well, if you have any questions you're willing to ask at the end of the presentation. So, firstly, okay, I would like to start with the introduction. And as you do know, in task 1 of the IELTS general writing module, you will have to write a letter of at least 150 words in about 20 minutes. So the examiner wants to see how well you can respond to everyday situations using your English. So candidates are given a situation or a problem, and they have to write a letter to ask for information or to explain something. So to decide your score, the examiners will look at four criteria: task achievement, coherence and cohesion, grammatical range and accuracy, and lexical resource. Сегодня я попробую вам дать практические советы, как нужно правильно написать неофициальное письмо, учитывая все эти критерии, на что стоит обратить внимание, где сделать правильные акценты, чтобы все было расписано и показано правильно. Okay, so first of all, I would like to start with task achievement because this criterion measures how well you have answered the question. The first thing for candidates to do when looking at a task 1 is to read the question carefully and to check the purpose of the letter and who they're writing to. So it's very important. So in order just to, actually, you should know, you should answer actually the questions, whether you have understood the question, whether you have included all necessary information in the letter. So then we'll turn to coherence and cohesion, because this particular criterion refers to how well the reader can understand your writing and how well your writing is organized. The candidate must arrange information and ideas coherently, so there must be a clear overall progression. So there are some questions that must be answered as well. So whether you have enough paragraphs, does each of your paragraphs have a central topic, and whether everything in the paragraph whether everything in the paragraph is connected. So whether you have used enough linking words and expressions appropriately. So здесь вы должны посмотреть, насколько четко у вас выделены абзацы. Все ли показано правильно, все ли расписано правильно, используете ли вы special linking words to join two sentences. The next aspect is grammatical range and accuracy. So here, we see that this criterion refers not just to how many grammar mistakes you make. It concerns accuracy in this way, but how many different structures you can use. So whether you have written a mix of simple and complex sentences, whether you have used more difficult structures such as conditionals, relative clauses, passive verb forms, whether you have used punctuation appropriately. So everything makes sense. The next criterion is lexical resource. Here, you should know that this particular criterion measures the level of your vocabulary. the number of synonyms you use, the number of adjectives, whether you have used a range of vocabulary, whether you have used words appropriately, have you spelled them correctly. So you should keep these 4 criteria in mind whenever you do a writing task. And now let's move on. Let's see how it must be. So informal writing represents through informal words and expressions, contractions which are used in writing, abbreviations, informal phrasal verbs, vague expressions such as somewhere, things, something like that, and many others. So we can also see the overuse of personal pronouns. So, well, all sentences are used with I or we. So questions to the reader, such as, isn't that terrible? Can you believe that? And of course, emotional responses, such as, I think it's awful, it's unbelievable, or the experience was unbelievable, something like that. То есть в неофициальных письмах чаще всего мы увидим аббревиатуры, фразовые глаголы, collocations, эмоциональные реакции. Это все являются signs of informal writing. Okay, so now let's see how it must be in practice. So here's an example. A friend has invited you to a party, but you're busy on the day it's being held. Write a letter to your friend. In your letter, apologize for not being able to attend. Explain why you're busy. Invite your friend to do something else with you. So you should write at least 150 words. Well, the first question is, what should we start with? And here is the structure. There are some steps which must be followed in order just to answer this question, do this task right. The first one, you should analyze the question. Make notes of ideas which could be useful. So you have to brainstorm ideas, generate ideas. You should make a plan. Of course, write the letter and check the mistakes. Если вы будете четко следовать определенному плану, вот когда вы будете писать informal letter, то у вас не будет трудностей, что делать дальше. Первое, что вы должны сделать, это проанализировать вопрос. Мы далее будем рассматривать каждый этап, что делать в каждом из этапов. Потом вы должны, безусловно, набросать какие-то идеи, какие-то слова, словосочетания, которые у вас возникают при виде данного задания. Составить четко план, написать письмо по плану, который у вас есть. Ну и не забыть обязательно проверить ошибки, потому что думая, что это не самая важная часть, или думая, например, задание иногда бывает легким, все равно я считаю, что нужно выделить 3-4 минуты в конце, это обязательно проверить ошибки, посмотреть, есть ли спеллинговые ошибки, есть ли грамматические ошибки, и по возможности исправить. So let's just take into account every step. The first one, analyze the question. What is the topic? Who am I writing to? In this way, you should find out by underlining the key words in the question. We have the assignment. A friend has invited you to a party, but you're busy. So invited, a party, and busy are considered to be the key words here. So the next part. So we have highlighted them, and that's what we are going to take into account when we move on. What is your purpose in writing the letter? So the purpose is to apologize for not being able to attend, explain that you're busy, and invite your friend to do something else with you. So you can see that you're given 3 things to do: apologize, explain, suggest or invite. То есть, подчеркивая эти слова, вы должны четко уже понимать, что вы будете делать в письме. Извиняться, объяснять, приглашать. Let's move on. The next step, brainstorming, making notes of ideas. So in the question, a friend has invited you to a party, but you need to decide what kind of party it is. Is it a birthday party or a dinner party? You also need to decide why you're busy. Do you have another party to go, or perhaps you are working on this day, or you have something else to do. So in this way, you should explain why you are busy. And finally, you have to invite your friend to do something else. You should think thoroughly. What are you going to invite them to do? Whether to go to the movie or have dinner or any other ideas. So just think what you can do with your friend, or just which place you would like him to invite to go to. So look at the questions which you need to answer, and you should budget your time accordingly. Move on. Step 3, make a plan. So here's a plan. You should start with dear, then paragraph 1, introduction. Ask your friend how he or she is and apologize for not coming to the party. Paragraph 2, body. Explain why you're busy. Paragraph 3, invite your friend to do something else. Closing remarks and sign off. So here we see that we do have a plan, and we should stick to this plan. Когда у вас есть план, что делать, то есть вы уже его набросали, и в голове у вас есть четкая последовательность, что делать первым, вторым, третьим, мы непосредственно переходим к четвертому моменту. Write the letter. When you do have a map of what you're going to write, you should stick to it. You shouldn't go off the track. You shouldn't add any new ideas, even if they seem better choices to you. By following your map, you will reduce the risk of making new mistakes. Do not add new mistakes if they are not in your plan. Таким образом, когда вы будете следовать всем тем пунктам, всем тем идеям, которые вы набросали, и уже приступаете к написанию письма, старайтесь не добавлять ничего нового, потому что здесь возникает вот тот риск добавить немного ошибок. Когда вы уже четко понимаете, какое предложение вы напишете, оно уже у вас в голове, вы уже четко его видите, и вы уже пишете, не добавляйте ничего от себя, потому что таким образом риск того, что вы сделаете больше ошибок, возникает действительно. На практике, да. Here's an example to our assignment. So, dear Jane, how are you? It was great to hear from you. Thanks so much for inviting me to your birthday party next Saturday. It sounds great, and I absolutely love to come, but unfortunately I've already arranged to do something else that day. Do you remember my cousin Victor? He's the one who's been living in Singapore for the last year. Well, he's flying in for a visit, and I promised I would show him around. He's only going to be in town for the day, so I really can't get out of it. I really want to get together, though. How about coffee next week or the week after? I know we've got a lot on your plate at the moment, but I'll give you a call and we can sort out the details over the phone. Maybe we can check out that new cafe near the library. I hear this coffee is to die for. Have a great party. Hope to catch up with you soon. Lots of love, Mary. Quite a nice example, don't you think so? Довольно-таки неплохой вариант для такого задания, правда? Сейчас приступим к следующему. То есть давайте его разберем. The letter is addressed dear plus first name. Yeah. The letter begins with a friendly opening phrase. How are you? It was great to hear from you. Contractions are used. I've, his, whose, I'd. Phrasal verbs are used. Show around, get out of, get together, sort out. Idiomatic language is used as well. To have a lot on your plate, to give someone a call. Exclamation marks are used as well. The letter ends with the friendly closing phrase, have a great party, hope to catch up with you soon. And of course, we do have a casual sign off. So plus the letter writer's first name. Lots of love, Mary. So if we go back to the previous page, you will see the highlighted expressions are highly used in informal letters. They are very useful and, well, so phrasal verbs are used frequently in casual English, and the ability to use them will show the examiner your lexical resource. So you have to use such phrasal verbs as come up, work out. There's quite a long list of phrasal verbs. So choose those which are preferable to you and which are quite common. So, for example, to come up is just the same as to happen unexpectedly. To work out is just the same as to exercise, to find the answer to something. These are the explanation to all these phrasal verbs. Take up, to start doing. Turn out, to happen in the end. Give up, to stop doing. Sort out, to solve. Pick up, to learn. To collect someone in a vehicle. Come along, just either to accompany or to progress, to keep on, to continue, keep on, carry on, go on. Quite a lot of phrasal verbs can be added to this list. Put off, to postpone. То есть фразовые глаголы желательно использовать informal letters, потому что они стилистически подходят для написания неофициальных писем. И поэтому, ну, be careful. Be careful. Будьте осторожны, потому что, чтобы использовать правильный фразовый глагол, не напутать с предлогом, потому что если вы напишете не тот particle, конечно, значение от этого меняется. То есть будьте уверены в тех phrasal verbs, которые вы будете использовать. These are the examples actually of different phrases which are used in either in the introduction or just at the end of the letter. Some closing phrases. Like we can start with Dear Jack, how are you? Or Dear Annie, I hope things are fine with you. Or you may say, thank you for your letter. It was nice to hear from you. I must tell you about the new movie I saw last week. Or for example, this one, listen, you have no idea what happened to me yesterday. So, and you can just use these phrases in informal letter. Well, I'm very sorry I forgot to send you a birthday card. Or let me tell you about this perfect concert last week. So actually, it depends on what kind of informal letter you're writing. Because in this way, oh, by the way, the next step is my favorite one. Step 5, check your mistakes. Don't forget to check your mistakes. Well, especially spelling mistakes, right? Because you can drop a letter. And in this way, just look through, right? Read through the information that you have written. The next. So, as I have already said, there are different types of letters in task 1, general training. So we are not going to take into account complaint letters because there are no informal forms, but letters of apology, request, invitation letters, and thank you letters can be in the test. So in this way, you should know the structure, the plan, how to write such letters. And here I can just show you the plan that can be followed while writing different kinds of letters. If it concerns the letter of, well, if your letter is making suggestions, you should follow this plan. So you should start with introduction, then making the first suggestion, providing an alternative, and closing paragraph. The same concerns the letter to give information. Introduction, giving information, offering more information, and closing paragraph. If your letter is making a request, you should start again with the introduction, explaining the situation, giving details of your request, and closing paragraph. The same concerns the letter to make suggestions. So, introduction, making the first suggestion, providing an alternative, and closing paragraph. But it concerns if the letter is either to make suggestion, to give information, to make requests, but sometimes there will be just one function, like we discussed previously. So, the next. Well, there are some speech patterns which are used to express different functions. If it's a letter of apology, or for example, you have to apologize for something, it's better to use some speech patterns like this. I'm very sorry, but I'm sorry about. I'm so sorry if I upset you in any way. I can't describe how sorry I am and how guilty I feel. I beg you to forgive me for. I can't tell you how sorry I am. If it's request, you could say, could you, can you, I'd like you to, would you mind, can you find, please let me know, send me the details, tell me soon. Given information. This is what I found out. Remember the information you wanted? You wanted me to tell you a few things about. I hope this will help you. Let me know if you need any more help. If you want to make suggestions, then it's better to choose such such patterns as how about, what about, why don't we, let's. if you want to invite someone, like it was in our assignment, you should use such phrases as, I'm writing to invite you. I'd love it if you could come too. We are organizing. I hope I'll be able to make it. Hope you can come. See you then. Thanks for the invitation. It sounds lovely. I hope we can get together some other time. I'm sorry we'll have to miss it. And stuff like that. So, letters of invitation can be actually of two types as well, to accept invitation, to refuse. The same concerns given information, asking for information. То есть в зависимости от того, какое задание у вас будет стоять в неофициальном письме, такие фразы мы и выбираем, потому что они как раз и формируют, передают ту функциональность, которая от вас требуется в задании, которая требуется от вас в задании. Едем дальше. Let's move on. Here's an example again. You are about to go on vacation for a month. A friend from another town will come and stay in your apartment. Write a letter to this friend. In your letter, explain where your friend can get the keys to the apartment. Give your friend some instructions about using your apartment. Recommend some places to go. And here is the writer's quick plan. In formal style, let it be John or Tom or just any name without just any spelling mistake that can be made in this way, like Michael or something like that. So just choose either John or Tom. Then quick greeting and reason for writing. Neighbor at number 10 has keys, by the way. It can be just 10 or 12 or whatever. Visit anytime after 5 p.m., 6 p.m., anytime as well. Instructions about turning the heating off and opening the windows. Let it be like this. Good local restaurant and a traditional festival in the town during his visit. So, let's see how it is. Well, this is just a quick plan that can be followed. То есть это маленький такой план, который далее вы просто будете расширять, добавляя фразовые глаголы, добавляя contractions, добавляя все эти слова дополнительные, да, которые и формируют вот informal letters, написание informal letters. Here is the sample answer. So, well, actually, you will have a nice chance just to read it, but I would like to analyze. This is a very good answer, sample answer. Well, dear John, like here. Well, I hope you're well and looking forward to a stay at my place. At my place. It's just the same as my house, right? Very good word, at my place. Then you say, well, just you may write, I'm just writing to tell you a few things that you'll need to know. A few things. It's just, that's when you don't want, it's called vague language because it's about like, it's highly used in informal letters. То есть вот такие фразы как раз и используются в написании неофициальных писем. A few things, я тебе что-то расскажу. The first thing you'll need to know is to pick up the keys. Pick up. Pick up means collect, right? So the next, one of my neighbors. Just pop around. Pop around, meaning visit. Number 10, anytime after 5 p.m. Then she will be expecting you. So contraction is used, as you see here. And she'll tell you which key is which. Again, which key is which. Nice. If the weather gets a bit warmer is informal, right? You might want to turn the heating off. It's okay. Just open the cover on the boiler, imperative. So in the kitchen, and look for on-off switch. Again, as you see. Well, the same. The only other thing to tell you is that there will be a festival in the town center during the second week of your visit. It would definitely be worth checking out. Be worth checking out, meaning a good idea to go there. So, it's a very good example, actually, how to write an informal letter. So, the next. You have joined a program that connects people with pen friends in another country, and you have just received your first letter from your pen friend. In the letter, your pen friend has given you a lot of information about his or her country and has asked many questions about yours. So you have to write a letter to your pen friend. Here you should say, describe your everyday life, the typical food eaten in your country, the weather in your country. So, and here's an example again. So, dear Tom, so we should thank the person